Dina to. All right. Well, hello. Happy Tuesday. We are back. So tonight we have our one of our women, special lady, Amber. We're gonna get to know Amber. We're gonna have conversation, ask her questions. We're gonna be doing these every other month. So May will be someone. I've got my list, and I'm just gonna kind of choose, and so that we can get to know each other more, and then wherever other new people will fit in, we're going to fit that in as well. But I really wanted to do this and get to know each other because even though I'd like you, I know some of you meet or talk offline. Hopefully you do. I know some of you have, but I think this will be a good opportunity. So why don't we share what is going on in your world? I'm going to share something that I've been working on as well. Share some wins, and then I'll share some updates of what's going on. Christina, why don't you share about your summit on Saturday? And Tynesha was a speaker. She did
Is there
phenomenal.
a replay? Yes, there is a replay. I sent the replay to everyone who registered. I don't think, send me your email, Dawn, and I'll send it to you. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
It was really good. I'm very proud of all of the speakers that we had. Tanisha did an amazing job.
Did.
Michaela, Karen, and
Yes,
Avalon,
yes,
excellent. Like I
yes.
couldn't have asked for a better lineup and better speakers. The preparation was excellent. They did such a great job. So,
It did.
um,
But I also believe that the host did a fabulous job for
thank
her
you.
first summit. And Christina, I was thinking about it today. If you want a testimonial, I'm more than happy to give you a testimonial.
You. I appreciate that.
I will do a
That's
video
what I
testimonial.
haven't done was ask for testimonials. I've gotten a lot of feedback, which is great, like through emails back from the replays and stuff like
Yeah,
that from people who weren't able to attend.
yeah.
I really enjoyed. It was fun for me, and
Yes.
She didn't
usually
even talk about the 30 people that registered. That is great. For your first
That is great.
it
summit,
was
that's
50,
amazing.
Tanisha. We had 50
Oh my goodness.
You
registrations,
had 50
30
registered?
people, 30 people attended, 50 registrations. And I think that thinking about that, Tanisha, to be honest, the ratio for that, or usually like the statistics for that is a lot less people would have showed. So we
Mm,
had a really good turnout for the amount of
did.
registrations that we had.
You did. You did. That's fabulous. Wow. Hello, Steph. Welcome. We were just talking about Christina's summit. No worries. So that's great, Christina. Wow, 50 registered.
Yes.
Okay. Beautiful. Yeah, I'm more than happy to do a video testimonial if you want. I mean, it's something, if you want. I could most definitely do that. I've been forgetting and I've been reaching out to people from my summit, to do a testimonial so that when I do my next one in June, I want to have some testimonials already ready to share. So you have to ask people.
Thank
Um,
you. You're right. You're right.
don't be shy to ask them. And even if you have to ask them a few times, which I've had to do that, but I took it upon myself to give testimonials to some of my speakers from my summit. And one day I just did a whole bunch of testimonials, to the speakers. So it was my way of like, I need to give them a testimonial. So I'm more than happy to do that, Christina.
Okay,
Um,
thank you.
all right. Anything else about your experience you want to share?
Um, when the wins that I have was that I was able to get four new memberships for the
Good,
Launch Lab for with the summit itself.
good.
Um, and that went really well. Last night I had a meeting that was very insightful. It's
Good.
actually encouraged me to do research and make sure that the information that I'm presenting is high quality.
Yes.
And it's just going really well. So I'm very pleased overall.
Good. Good. That's good. Now, and doing your research is good. And like that's why like I always ask you, what would you like to see? What do you need? It's not what I want or what I need, what I think you need. It's like, what are you looking for? Where are you in your journey that you're looking for more of? Okay. So don't be shy. Reach out to me. Okay. There's
Okay, thank
Michaela.
you.
There's Michaela, my New York girl. Hello, Michaela.
Hi, ladies. How are you?
Good. How are you?
All is well.
Good, good, good. We were just recapping Christina's summit and saying how great it was, and how many people registered and the feedback that she received. And Michaela was one of the speakers. Michaela did a fabulous job.
Thank you.
Um, she really did. Again, I've heard her before. Fabulous, really good. Um, and so, all right. Anybody else wins that you've had this week, last week? What's going on in your world?
I can go.
Go ahead, Queen.
Um, I found some TEDx locations. It's kind of like TED Talk, but like individual cities can sign
Mm,
up to be the host for TED Talks, and they call it like TEDx. So
okay,
I signed up to be a part of those. Like you had to
good.
submit an application and everything. So
Yes,
it's
you do.
one step in the right direction towards my speaking career to get on stages like that because those are featured on the TED Talk page as well. Um,
Yes,
so
good,
stepped out a
good,
little bit and we'll
awesome.
see what happens.
Okay, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, there is an opportunity here in New York, in Mamaroneck, the White Room. Michaela, we had our event. Steph and I, we had an event at the White Room in Mamaroneck, and Dawn, you were there. At one of the events we've had, and they're doing a TEDx. They're calling it the sweet spot kind of thing, and they're looking for people who are.
Really?
Yeah. So Michaela, if you're looking, reach out to David Chemetsky. Do you know David Chemetsky?
Yeah, I met him when we were there for our
Yes.
book launch.
Yeah. So they're doing what is called a sweet spot, and it's a
Oh,
TEDx.
yeah, he did tell me about that when we were there.
Okay. So
Have
I
to look
reached
out
out
for-
to him. I reached out to him that I'm interested about it. So yeah, Michaela, do the same if you're interested.
Yeah, I'm gonna see.
Okay. All right. Dawn, what about you? Any wins? What's going on in your world? You've been gone for a couple of weeks. You got to
Yeah,
have.
just life has been happening and
No,
um
I know.
taxes and having to
Yeah, I was telling
do all
Dawn.
that.
I know. I
Yeah,
was telling
helping
Dawn.
two of my ambassadors to spread the word and to share and about themselves and making them be authentic with people.
Okay.
Steph did a an awesome live talk, talking about who she is, what she cares about, what
Good.
she wants to share with people, what she wants to do for her family, which was she did an amazing job. And
Okay.
then Leona is doing did a watch party, and it was about stress and so forth. So we had a Zoom and people come into the watch party, and I play it's a talk that is done by one or two of our higher ups within our company, or they're a nutritionist or they are a doctor.
Okay.
So
Okay.
so getting some stuff on the books and helping them, just spread their passion and what they love and what they're concerned about and why they've made these choices.
Good. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Amber, what about you? Any wins? I know we're gonna focus on you tonight. It's all about Amber.
Yeah.
But any wins?
So I've got my entire book outline now. I'm extremely excited about that. Got all my ideas organized. I'm just kind of like inserting little bits here and there, but I feel like I'm finally at the point where I can just like sit down and just like write. I feel like
Mm,
all of my ideas are in one spot. So that's really big because before I had, I think it was 17 chapters. I'm down to 9 chapters. I have
okay.
simplified to get it to a more concise, easy to read and understand way of organizing it, I guess. And then I've had to kind of re-put wherever my ideas are to fit in the chapters right. So yeah, I'm
Okay.
really excited about that. That took me a good week or so. So yeah.
That's major. Beautiful. Awesome. Okay. I don't know if Steph can speak because I know she's just got home.
I
But Steph,
can quickly. I'm not home yet, but I
okay.
my phone is on 2%, so I have to plug it in. But
Okay.
a win for me is that I have figured out the structure of my Rise program so Tina and I could start working on mapping out what that looks like. And then
Good.
another big win is that Shackley is dropping something amazing on April 1st, and it is going to be a game changer for my business and to help other people. Like, it is a one of a kind thing. It is a collagen that has not, nobody has it. Like, it's not on the market anywhere. And I am super excited because it is going to change people's lives and then in turn really like kickstart my business, because I've kind of been like a little slow going and a little nervous. But when I
Okay.
saw this and I got on the training yesterday, I was like, yes, let's go. So I'm
Good.
so excited.
Awesome. I can't wait to hear about it. Awesome.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Okay. All right. So a couple of updates. So Steph and I were doing the workshop. It was going to be tomorrow. We have rescheduled it to April 2nd, next week. So it's next Thursday. And today we got a registration. Judith Diaz registered for it. And all of you, as a member, it's complimentary. So I've already sent all of you a calendar invite for next week. But if you want to donate, you could donate. Just kidding, okay? Because Dawn wanted to register.
I'm like, I
She
gotta
was ready to.
register. I gotta register.
I said, no, it's complimentary. It's free, but I'll take your money, okay? Not going to any scholarships or anything like that. So no, it is free, okay?
Okay.
So we're excited about the workshop next week. Then our retreat, our info session for the retreat is April 30th at 6:30. We were going to have it this week, but being that the retreat is now in August, we are pushing the info session to April 30th. And if you were at the last one, you're more than welcome to come back again and hear from Flory. And we are opening up the doors to okay, Steph, to non-inner circle community members. All right. So we're going to be promoting it all over. All right. And get more people in the retreat. All right. And then a win for me that I want to share is that I've had these couple of programs, my inner circle, of course, and then I've got a couple of coaching programs. So I'm getting rid of my coaching programs. And I am now I created a 5-step called the shift method. And the shift method, it's all about your path from clarity to business ownership. So what it is I'm going to take both of my programs and put it into one program. And I'm going to create workshops from it. I'm going to create my talks from it. And it's going to be all under one umbrella called the shift. And this spoke to me, and I'll share what the letters for the word shift. S is see clearly. It's all about clarity. And I've been focusing on clarity for years. Okay. H is heal and reclaim, finding your confidence. All right. Really releasing your self doubt, that fear, which is also what I've been helping women. The I is vision. Imagine what's possible. So I help you to create your vision. F is form the foundation. It's all about the strategy. It's all about creating your business blueprint. And then T is taking aligned action. It's that momentum. It's taking that consistent action. How do we create consistency? How do we build that visibility and that connection and growth? So I just started promoting it a little bit, but I'm going to be sharing more about that. So because the shift that people have, and this is not going to be just a shift in your career. It could be life shifts. What are you going through right now in your life? And when I was thinking about this, it was like, I put myself in this. I've gone through several shifts in my life, not just business. So this is not just about business, it's really shifting in your life. What are some life shifts you've had and you need support in? So any comments, questions, reach out to me about that. What is your first reaction, the word shift? I'd love to get your feedback. Don't speak all at once. Don't be so excited.
Hello?
I'm trying to think. Take me a second.
Yes,
That's what
Michaela.
I was going to say. You just told us. Can we have a minute?
I know.
We
Michaela,
know you're
I'm with you. I'm
excited.
a New York girl, okay?
Yeah, you're excited, but dang, we just heard it. You've been sitting with it for a while.
I know.
I missed two things because my phone dinged. What were the last?
Oh,
The
the
last.
last two. The last
Yeah.
is F is a form, the foundation. And the T in the word shift is taking aligned action. It's that momentum. It's that consistent action. How do you create that visibility? How do you grow? How do you have that connection
Tina,
continue?
that's kind of long.
What's
Not
kind of
the, not the word, but the definitions you're giving for the letters, what they stand for. That's kind of long.
Oh, well, I'm elaborating for you, but it's not long on my sheet. It's really short. Like the T is just take aligned action.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm just explaining it to you more
I got
in
it.
more detail. Oh yeah, no, the visual that I created, it's really short. It's clarity. Underneath each letter, there's steps. There's clarity, there's confidence, there's vision, there's strategy, and there is momentum. Those are under each
Good,
letter.
good, good,
And
good.
so what I'm doing is I'm creating the workbook, I'm going to create videos, I'm going to create my signature talk, I'm creating the workshops around it. And so it just like
Ooh, you
the
doing well,
the
boy.
light bulb went on that I've been wanting to create a a 3 to 5 step thing, but I was
Mm-hmm.
never like, nothing was sitting with me, nothing. But the word shift came to me. It's like, because I'm going through shifts.
I like that.
Other people going
Okay.
through
Yeah.
shifts, right? Michaela, you're going through a shift.
No, I'm not. I'm already arrived.
You've already arrived, like you already are at that place, but you went through a shift.
Yeah, but I'm a transmuter.
You're a what?
Transmuter.
Yes,
Like I
yes,
take stuff that people throw at me and use it to build. So I don't
yes.
sit there long. I
No,
don't sit in stuff
I
long.
want you to meet my boss and I want you to tell her
I
what
should
you
be with
think.
I should be with your boss. Yes, I could fix her. I should come and talk to your boss. Um,
Mm.
okay, so all right. Any other things to share before we?
I gotta win. I gotta win. I'm building out a course now based on the speech I gave at Christina's event.
Good. What is the course going to be called?
It's oh shit, Tina. I don't have my computer open. I just have the
Oh, that's
iPad.
okay.
But
That's
it's
okay.
for people that are creative, but they haven't figured out how to turn it into a business yet.
Yes, because that's what she talked about during the summit, and I love the creativity part and how you are bringing that into. Beautiful. I love it. Yeah, my course that I've had, I gotta put it in the CRM, and it's gonna be part of the shift method because it clearly fits into my clarity, my confidence, and the vision
Yeah,
that I have. And my book, Freedom: 7 Steps to Thrive, are part of this shift. So I've already had the pieces separate.
hmm,
Now it's putting it all together
right.
and having one tool, one
So
program.
you were saying you were going to get rid of your coaching. What are you?
Well, no, this is going to be my new coaching. What I said is I'm the 2 coaching programs that I have right now are kind of not. I'm not going to be focusing on them, and I'm going to be changing my website. I got to tell Nikki this because Nikki's going to be like, okay,
So
You
does
have
this go
two?
away?
huh?
So does this go away?
What goes away? The inner circle?
Yeah.
Oh no, this stays.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, 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 no,
So
no, no.
what other program do you have? I only know about this one.
Yeah, I'm like,
Oh my God.
don't
Okay.
drop
See?
us.
All right, I have my business blueprint program. That's where I help you create your blueprint for your business. Go from your idea to creating your plan. And then my other coaching that I have, which is a 6 month, is called Empower Her, which is all about the inner work, which is all this that I was just talking about,
Uh-huh.
creating your business blueprint.
I
So,
never knew that.
see, thank you, Michaela, for asking that question. Sometimes you think people know what you do, but
Right.
they don't. So, Michaela, thank you for sharing that. Everything's on my website, but who goes on your website, right? Some
Well, I'm
people,
sure some people do, but I think all of us here are trying to build our websites and keep them up to date. So I don't leave a lot of room to go looking at other websites.
right? I know because I'm working on my website now, through Nikki, and with the CRM that I'm working with, and I already have the two programs, and now I'm going to tell her, well, I'm going to have this, so she's going to be like, okay.
Yeah.
So, but it just this is something that really like sits for me. No, the community, this community is part of of course, my business, and it's an entry point. It's a way to get to know it. It's all about connection and community, and I'm helping you to build your businesses. All right, but the shift method that I'm going to be is going to be all part of the community, and I'm going to be bringing pieces in. Okay,
Okay.
so thank you, Michaela, for asking that question. I love it. All right. So Amber, so this is how this will go. Amber is going to be sharing about, her business, about you. Like we'd like to get to know you, Amber. All right. Tell us some fun facts about you. Tell us about who you are. Like, how did you get here to this, in your journey? We want to get to know you, the person. All right. This is not just the business that you're in now. It's really get to know you. And then us, feel free to ask her questions. What do you want to know more about, Amber?
Yeah.
Does it
I think
sound good?
I would like to start with questions first because I feel like I've told some of you some things and others not.
I don't know
Because
what to ask because I don't know anything about you.
okay,
Awesome. So,
I have a
good.
question.
sure.
Good. Go ahead.
Amber, what is your book about?
It's about culture, and that means like workplace culture, but it's also world culture at the same time. So I'll kind of get into that a little bit, but
I think you
that's
told us that
general
before.
general quick talk of it. But I'll tell you about my background first. So some of you know I'm in Iowa, so I've been in the Midwest my whole life. I have not traveled much. I lived a very sheltered life. I would love to travel at some point. But I've always been very into like design work. That's where I really started was like graphic design, web design. My first AA that I got was in web design. I went back for graphic design, did not finish. I got very sick when I was in college. I had to drop out, unfortunately. I ended up with Graves' disease or hyperthyroid instead of hypo. So I was on bed rest for like a year or so. But in that process, I healed myself. So the Graves' disease, you're told like you're going to be put on medicine and you're going to be on that the rest of your life. We're probably going to destroy your thyroid, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, well, I don't like that. So I started doing my own research because the doctors didn't know nothing. So I ended up cutting out gluten, found out I felt a lot better. And within 4 months, I hit remission and I've not had it since. So I took control of my health. I lost 110 pounds back then. I'm working on doing it again. Um, but I lost a ton of weight. So I became a health coach because I was very interested in health at that time. And I went to Health Coach Institute. I don't know if any of you have heard of that place, but it's really great. I loved getting all of my training from there. So I became a life coach, health coach for a while. And then as I was working with these life coaches and health coaches, they're like, oh my God, who did your website? Who did your graphics? You're so good. I'm like, well, that was me. So I ended up working with those health coaches and life coaches for a long time. And I actually really enjoyed it because I still got to do similar stuff. I still had a couple life coaching clients, but I mostly transitioned into just that. And as I worked with them, they're like, oh, but you're so good at all these business things. So I kind of branched into business a little bit, did a little business coaching, talked about branding, all the things. Like I taught people how to go live and I've done all kinds of stuff with that. And it ended up being 2022. I ended up leaving my ex-husband. And then the business kind of fell backwards because I had been depressed for a while. I had my daughter in 2019 prior to that. So it was like postpartum depression, all the things. And I just kind of collapsed, I guess is the way I would say. That was like when I hit my rock bottom, and moved out, went and lived with a friend, slept on the couch for a while till I got myself back together. I started working at a photography company because I've done photography since like college. I took a course in that, so that's what I kind of grasped onto when I got sick, is I just did photography when I could, when I felt good enough. So I've been doing that. So, oh, shoot, I guess it's 11 years now as a photographer, but I started with Bella Baby. I did newborn photography, and in that newborn photography, that was always my favorite anyway. I ended up becoming the training manager for that company because I'm really good at doing what I do, and teaching people training. And I had all the background in doing courses and teaching people and coaching people, and it just was the right fit at the time. And since then, in this company, I have found all of the things I hate about corporate America in many ways. But like my boss was bully and things like that, just a lot of negative stuff happening, and it's been bad, but at the same time it's also woken me up. Like, this is what I'm meant to do. I am meant to work with leaders on their own crap, so to speak, but in a more business sense. That if you, and the key underlying message here is that if you cannot look at your own patterns, shadows in our psychotherapy world, if you can't look at your own patterns, you're going to keep repeating them. And the phrase that I continue to use now is, you're scaling your nervous system. If you're scaling a business, you are scaling your nervous system. That is what is growing in your business. So, do you want to grow that? Is your company failing? Well, let's take a look at the person behind it first. Let's get to the root. So, my approach is very different because I'm bringing in somatics too, in a different way. So I'm not just like, hey, let me be your therapist. I'm going to be your team therapist. No, nothing of that. It's more of, let's look at the human signals in your company. What's going on in the boardrooms? How are people feeling and reacting to things? This is not to say you've all got to sit and process your emotions together. We're not doing that. It's more of, how are you behind what's causing them to feel that way? And how can you manage yourself better so your company runs better? And so when you scale a good nervous system. That's the whole point of culture morphology. Culture morphology, in a sense, is the way and the form of the culture within a company, or the world for that matter, or your home, or your classroom if you're a teacher. It's the culture of whatever group it is applying to. So the book is truly for everyone. It'll have a little bit mixed in here throughout, like, yeah, this is great for a business person, but think about it in terms of, if you're a teacher, you're creating a culture inside your little classroom, right? It's a culture, it's what it is. So it's all about all culture. And the idea behind it, in the very long run, like I'll be long dead by then, world peace. Because here's the thing, if you take businesses and you get to the foundational leaders behind them, create more peace within them, they're more and less likely to not keep fighting so much, to have better interactions, to interact with the world better, and to not always consistently want war. It won't eliminate war. People are always going to like conflict and disagree, but it's going to be less like ego, pride, I'm better than you, war over stupid stuff, basically. There's always going to be like civil unrest in some ways, different ways of doing things, but at the same time, it's going to be more positive based, like for actual, impact, action, instead of just, hey, let's make a couple quick bucks, sell some guns, war, bombs, all the things, right? So the idea behind culture morphology is to create a new world culture through business, because businesses are what lead the world. I would love to say that I'm communicating with you guys, so now the US culture is great. I wish. It doesn't work that way. It's not just interpersonal. It's the people behind these great big mechanisms, these great big companies, right? That's what I've got to get into. So where I'm starting is with the little guys, with the little boutique businesses, especially service-based places. My goal is to work with enough of them to create case studies that are going to go in my book alongside all the other case studies from real things that are happening, like Boeing. So, Boeing, most of you have heard of, or will as soon as I say that 400 people died in a plane crash that the door flew off on. That was because of Boeing. So, they had a whole bunch of safety regulations kind of getting ignored to make a little buck, and ignore the safety and push things out quicker. So Boeing has really been under fire the last 10 years and they still have not recovered. They've had a CEO change, all the things have been following it. And it's it's a prominent story in my book because it is one of the biggest giant fails that could possibly happen due to culture issues in a company. Culture is not just like, oh, are people getting along? It's, do the values match what they're actually doing? And contrary to popular belief, just because a leader has certain sets of, I guess, positive morals, values, whatever, ethics, doesn't mean that the company they're running has to have the same ones. They just have to believe in them. But if they don't believe in them, that's where the mismatch comes. So we talk a lot about all of that in the book as well. I feel like I just gave you a ton of stuff. So I'm going to let you guys ask questions now because that's pretty much everything.
Yes, so let's ask her questions. But I'm going to ask you some questions about you personal. I want to
Yeah,
get to know
go for
Amber.
it.
All
Go for
right. But who wants to go
it.
ask her questions? Because
Well,
she does a lot.
I'm I'm interested in the Boeing story. I'm actually not familiar with
Okay.
um the story, which is really good. That gives me incentive to read your book, right? So
Yep.
that's
Well,
awesome. When do you plan on releasing your book?
My goal is to have it done in 6 months, do a soft launch with some pre-early readers for people that sign up. They'll be called my founders, of course. Almost like a Kickstarter, but not through Kickstarter because, they take a lot of your money. So I'm going to do that myself.
okay.
Kind of make it a fundraiser type of thing in a way. Take that and then go on tour and go do speeches and stuff across the country with it. That's my goal, but I'm aiming for that to actually like get to that point in 12 months. So 6 months
Very
for pre-launch, 12 to kind of like, okay, time to go tour, that type of thing.
I like
cool.
that. That's awesome. Well, that I'm very interested in reading your book. Um, I think that you touched on quite a few good things, and I know that the reason why I left corporate was the culture of the company, and I was with the company for many years. And as we were acquired by bigger fish, the culture had seemed to change, and it was no longer the home felt nice great company that I was used to. And so when Dawn mentions that her boss and she rolls her eyes and stuff like that, I could totally understand it. I get it. I get it. Like,
Me too.
and then you mentioned the same thing that you recognize things of culture within the company that you kind of hated. So it's a theme, a going theme there, which is very interesting. So yeah, like I was saying, I'm just very interested in the book. Very good.
Yeah. Everything is culture. Like we're creating culture in our own businesses. We may be just ourselves working it, but we're building a team. Our goal is to have a team. But we're creating a culture within our own businesses. So it's not just in corporate America, the culture, but within our own businesses too. So Amber, who would be your ideal client moving forward? I know we've talked about it, but share with everybody who is someone that you want to serve.
So ideally right now it's little boutique businesses somewhere between like 7 people up to maybe 100. I would say less is better right now just for the initial case studies.
Okay.
But my goal in the long run, like 10, 20 years down the line, is to be working with S&P 500s.
Okay. Okay. Good. Well, they need, corporate America needs culture changes. I mean, it's if you find a company that has got a good culture, you're lucky. And then
Yeah.
when they go through mergers, they get acquired, and then it's a whole different animal. And then they wonder why people are not happy. They're disengaged. The morale is low. Then, absenteeism goes up. People are calling out sick more, and then they wonder why. There's more performance issues because they've already checked out.
Oh yeah, so my book covers a lot of the trends like checking out, quiet quitting, all of
Yeah,
that
the
stuff is
quiet quitting.
mentioned.
Yep.
We also talk about like what it costs to be misaligned in the business, to have what I call drift or being on the drift spectrum where there's a rift in the business or it's flowing well. So that just depends on where you're at with that. But we talk a lot about statistics, we break down DEI. I'm probably going to get my head chopped off for this, but DEI is not always the best thing. In some ways, it depends on how it's implemented. So the way DEI works now, more recently, is the companies will use it for clout. It's not really doing the job it was meant to do. It becomes its own enemy in the end. So I talk about that. I talk about industrial organizational psychology as well as the role of HR and how HR is only a whole 8% actually effective in the workplace and the reasons behind it. We talk about how leaders can become architects and stewards instead of just being the hero every day and the firefighter, because you can't leave a business like that. If you want to leave an actual legacy, to be a steward, you have to be able to remove yourself from the company, step back and stand in awe of what you built. And if you can't do that, then you're just a cog in the machine you built that's going to fail as soon as you leave. Right. So we talk a lot about stewardship too in the book. There's a lot of moving pieces to it, but we cover a lot of the trends.
Awesome. I love that. Okay.
I'm
Anybody
looking
else?
I'm looking forward to reading your book also, especially after what you just said about being the cog instead of just the architect.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Mhm.
Yeah.
want to see exactly what you wrote about DEI to see if I'm going to be angry with you or not. So I'll read it
Um,
first.
yeah, for sure. Well, DEI, I can actually I send it to you if you want. I think DEI has a really great place in some ways, but the way that a lot of companies use it is not good.
Mhm.
So
So
it's
it's not DEI, it's the people, the way they're wielding it like a knife.
yes,
So that's
Right.
yeah.
different. So
That's the
yeah, that's
part
a
that,
little different.
Yes. So there are
yeah.
issues with DEI in the way that it's implemented. So I
How
mean
they're
I could
using it. It's how they're using it. It's how they're
yeah.
using it, how they're implementing it. I
Right.
know.
But when you say the issues with DEI, yeah, I automatically lean forward because I'm like, hold on,
Yeah. You're like,
because
wait a
I'm a
minute.
woman, I'm
Am
black.
I
Wait a
gonna be
minute.
chopping her head off today?
It's
No.
I'm
okay.
looking forward to
No, that's the
reading your
point. I
book,
want to
though.
push people with it. Like, I would be happy to read it. It's not that long. If you guys want to hear it, we've got time.
How long is it?
Like 3 or 4 paragraphs. It's not a long part, but it does talk about it.
If
Oh,
you
go
want,
ahead.
if
Okay.
everybody wants to hear.
Does
But
everybody want to hear?
yeah, three or
Everyone
four
curious?
paragraphs.
Okay.
I will listen.
Okay.
Okay. It's a little long, but it's not super long. So feel free to stop me and ask questions. This is what I have so far on the DEI section, which it may have some like references to stuff before, and if it does, I'll try to bring it in. So it starts with human resources gained influence beyond surveys and metrics as DEI reframed the core question. Are people being treated fairly at work? DEI set out to remove hidden barriers so people from all backgrounds have a merit-based shot at hiring, development, and advancement. It also widens pipelines and fostered belonging to improve collaboration and serve diverse customers, making representation, belonging, and fairness part of the workplace vocabulary. It was a necessary shift that reshaped organizational thinking, awareness, policy, and intention. Without it, many organizations would have remained blind to identity, silenced differences, and treated fairness as, well, optional. In 2025, public sector DEI programs face significant legal and political pushback. Many organizations reconsidered their approaches. Some companies feel they're taking the moral high ground by keeping it functioning and alive in their organizations. However, the application of DEI is often misguided. It becomes checkbox rituals, fuels identity driven decisions, and creates training theater with no real changes to how hiring, feedback, and promotions actually work. When identity affects the outcomes or people are being tokenized as spokespeople, it will make employees feel like the rules are unfair. It feels like they're being judged for who they are instead of what they do, or they simply feel used as a spokesperson. It breeds anxiety about speaking honestly, quiet backlash, and disengagement. In turn, employees' trust erodes. Workplace culture is negatively impacted, and the entire DEI initiative suddenly becomes the thing it was trying to prevent. DEI can and often will check all the boxes of representation, yet still be one of the causes of employee fear, mistrust, or pressure. It may have cracked open doors that had been long closed and made room for people who had been pushed to the margins, but it still struggles to touch that deeper structure. Here's what many of the last ditch efforts, where many of the last ditch efforts enter the scene. Many companies often hand out free pizza, host team building retreats, and plaster their walls with the motivational posters. Some organizations even invest substantial resources in elaborate wellness campaigns, engagement days, or flashy benefits, only to find that their people are disengaged again within weeks. The issue is none of these things create culture. At best, they decorate it. In truth, they can silence and disguise what they're trying to fix. Too long didn't read. Employee satisfaction surveys can sometimes reveal something about the state of workplace culture, but don't necessarily create alignment. DEI can check off some boxes to make sure everything's morally and ethically better. Perks and incentives can foster good feelings and momentary enjoyment to assuage the masses for a short time, but none of these initiatives have worked long term. And that was the end of the DEI section, but it basically just talks about how it can be a checkbox instead of actually doing what it's meant to do. It could be, well, this person, because they fit our DEI checkbox, they're African American, instead of this person over here
Or
who's
they just
white
a
or
woman.
Indian or something that's more qualified or whatever. Maybe everyone's Indian. They're like, we have to hire the African American so that we can get our DEI checkbox, but that doesn't help anybody. The idea is that they
So
want, you know, like
so
everyone.
that's okay.
Right.
I wanna say something. So I'm glad
Yeah.
you read that to me because I see where your heart is with this.
Yes.
And I don't think you're wrong. I don't think you're wrong for anything you wrote. But there's a lot missing from that
Yeah.
because DEI does not even help minorities at all. It helps white women more than
Uh-huh.
anybody.
Yeah.
So when you're writing stuff like that, you have to make sure you're giving the full picture of it.
Yeah. Yeah,
True.
and that's why I need women like you guys to read it because I will miss things. Like I can't carry everything in one book, but
Right.
like that should be brought. So this is why I want you guys to read it. Be like, hey, you're missing this part, and I'm like, oh, you're right. You
I
know,
love that.
there are going to be
Love
things I'm going to miss.
Well, not because you did anything wrong. It's just like
Yeah.
right now that phrase because of the jackass in the White House.
Mhm.
That's like a lightning word right now, just to
Yep.
get people emotional and they're not
It
paying
is.
attention to the actions.
It
Yeah.
And
is. Yep.
I don't want
Yeah.
people to read your book and they're just reacting to emotionally to some things you said without having the whole picture to process it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yep. And that's why I
Like,
want a lot of readers. So that's really good feedback too. I think it
yeah.
does just it benefits the people that are in the position that they need to look good. A lot of them have kept DEI just to check off boxes so that they look
Right.
like they're ethically whatever, but you
And
have
then
to
when you
hire.
look into it, they really haven't applied anything.
They
Yeah,
haven't
it
I
could
just
be.
got a redhead white guy that who's
I
ever's nephew
Mhm.
working in a company now. Yeah.
know. I
Yeah,
know.
and the one of the examples I like to think about too is the construction company for men that hire a woman just because they need to do DEI, even though the
Right.
woman may or may not,
Exactly.
fit the
Exactly.
role. Like it's like, what's the point? Like, sure, you look good, but you also look kind of dumb. Like it, yeah,
That's what I was talking about, what you just said. So a lot of
yeah,
people are under the assumption that that particular program, they're only hiring people because they check a box. I don't think
hmm.
that's the case at all. You still got to be qualified to do a job.
You have to be
That's the
qualified.
problem. You do
Right.
have to be, but a lot of these companies aren't treating it that way. They're like, nope, they're going to fit DEI. We're going to get our tax incentives for meeting all these check boxes.
Yep.
Have you
Exactly.
have you personally seen anybody hired for a job just because that aren't
Personally, no, but
qualified
I've heard
for
of
it?
it. Yeah, personally, no, I have heard of it though several times.
So I'm still going to challenge you on that because this is the whole argument of those people who follow Trump. They heard of it, but nobody could ever
Mhm.
point to facts about it. I
Yes.
still feel like that's just
Yeah, I
emotional
could cite
garbage.
them for sure. Yeah, I'll put it in here to make sure I cite them too.
And I mean, I love, get beta readers, get,
Yes.
as
Yeah.
like get beta readers to read
Mm,
it and give you feedback and love comments about the free pizza. I know they think giving
yeah.
you free pizza on a Friday, all those
Mm,
wellness programs, all that shit, excuse my language, is going to make you engaged and morale's going to go up. I mean, I've seen so much crap, when I was working in corporate America, things that they would
mhm.
do just to like shut you up
Too, they
to
do it
help,
in nonprofit too.
Yep.
what?
I said they do it in nonprofit world too. Just
They're doing
useless
it in a
stuff.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's sad, but I'm glad that you're bringing this to the surface. And all right, what
Yeah.
other questions? We have 10 more minutes and we're going to take a picture. What
Yeah.
questions you want to ask Amber?
I have
Yeah.
a
I'm
question about your graves. They did so having your thyroid removed is not an option for you.
so
Either way, you're
yes.
still gonna have to take a pill, but
No, so here's the thing with Graves. They told me either I can radiate it or I can have it removed, but they were like, you can take this medicine. It was methimazole for like a few months or whatever to see if it helps, and it probably won't, and then we'll have to do everything else. Well, I did the methimazole just to get myself like acclimated, but to like reduce the symptoms, I guess. But what happened is I changed my diet and I completely reversed it. I don't even have it in my system anymore. They did a
oh,
blood test
great.
and I have no antibodies. This was back in 2016. She's like, I have never seen or heard of this happening. What did you do? And I said, I cut out gluten. And she's like, that's not the only reason. I'm like, that's the only thing I changed.
Oh my, I know.
Well, that's
I
great. I'm glad to hear that, Amber.
doctors. I have no patience for
So
doctors.
my thyroid is still intact, never had radiation, never had it removed.
Awesome.
That's
Awesome.
great.
But it wasn't the gluten. It wasn't the gluten removal. Yeah.
Supposedly not. But every
Yeah.
time I have any gluten, I get sicker than a dog. So
So yeah, I know. I love it. Okay. What do you like to do for fun?
I'm a creative, so I like to paint, draw, write, obviously. Pretty much anything creative. My daughter and I love doing crafts. I just got these brand new craft bins with a whole bunch of crafting stuff in it. I've got all of my like colored pencils and stuff.
Okay.
I've always been that person that likes to design and again, websites, graphics, all of that. So
Okay.
yeah, anything creative, really.
And what's your favorite self-care kind of thing?
For me, it's definitely journaling because that just allows me that quiet time I don't get as a parent typically, or working a 9 to 5. So
Good.
that and like doing my tarot and oracle just to like relax and talk to the universe a little bit to connect me. I think those are my biggest self-care things.
You do tarot cards?
Oh girl, yeah, I've done so many readings for people. They're always like, that was creepy. It was so right. I was like, I just tell you what I get.
Oh my gosh, you gotta do mine one day.
Girl, that's what I'm starting to offer those. So I'm starting to offer readings, both tarot and astrology, and oracle card. I do astrology readings, gene key readings, human design if you want to understand yourself in a very complex, deep down, like why do I tick and function the way I do? That's what you need is one of those. They're very very intense and in depth, but they are so worth it. I've done a few of those like 3 or 4 hour calls with a break in there. People always come away like, I know exactly what I'm doing with my life now. I understand it. I get it. I know why I am the way I am.
Okay. I love that. And Tanisha has her hand up, and then Steph said, I'm a Manny Gen, literally a Manny Gen. You'll have to explain what that is because I don't
Yeah,
know what.
so a manifesting generator is what a Manny-Gen is, and it means that you have a very active way of doing things. You like to multitask and you often say yes to everything and you shouldn't. That's one of the main things with Manny-Gens.
Unless you know how to, because that's what I am too, a master generator.
Me
And I
too.
don't
Oh,
drop the ball on anything, and I have multiple projects going on.
yep. Yep, that's typical. I'm a manifester myself, so my aura is very closed and I tend to intimidate people even though I'm not trying to. But
I'm a
Tanisha, what was your question? I don't want to miss your question.
Okay, if money wasn't an issue and you could do any dream job in the world that you wanted to do and didn't have to worry about, paying bills and all that stuff, what would you be doing?
I would be doing my culture morphology stuff. That's exactly it.
Gotcha.
because your goal is what you want is world peace, like you had said.
Yeah, and it might take a while. So my key thing I'm thinking with this is that I'm not going to create world peace. I'm going to build something that will.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome.
That's my
Great.
So
goal.
is this like, okay, so let me explain. Okay, so if I didn't have to worry about, if I could do a dream job and that job not have to be the job that takes care of all my bills and everything was taken care of, I would be a model. I always wanted to be a fashion model. So that's
Mm,
what I meant by that. And it's not because of
Yeah.
a passion or anything. I just love fashion. So besides like the passion work and all that, if you could do something,
I love that because I see you there, Queen. Queen, I
thank
see you
you.
doing that.
So if
You
you
are
could
so
do,
fashion.
thank you. If you could do something and you're not doing it for the money, you're not trying to pay bills, you're not doing it to like save the world, because I have things I'm trying to do to save the world as well. Put everybody and everything aside and just do it because you love to do it, or it's something that you really want to do. What would you be doing?
Tanisha, you're not going to like my answer.
Is the same?
Is the same thing. You know why?
Okay,
Here's the
gotcha.
reason. Here's the reason.
Okay,
I see
yes, you're the
patterns.
reason.
I have seen patterns my whole life. I put intricate systems together in different systems and shove them all together to make them function as a whole. That is my passion, is to make things work together. That synergy. Like if I don't know if any of you know Gene Keys, but think like human design on
Yeah.
steroids. So gene keys, my gene keys are all about creating world peace. That's literally what it is. That is my passion. That is what I live for. So for me right now, it's like relationships, whatever I can do to make those better, work relationships, whatever I can do, like taking all these parts and trying to make it function and work, you
Mm,
know? And the idea of being able to work with a leader to make their company work better so that it does create peace, that for me is what does it. Like I love a lot of things, but I can't see myself enjoying painting for the next 50 years. It's like I like doing that every once in a while. I like designing. I don't want to do it every day because it hurts my eyes to stare at the computer so long. I want to work with people. I want to work with people on themselves. I want to work with helping them understand themselves. I'm very like deep psychology driven. So knowing how someone ticks through these systems or just through helping them to figure themselves out, that's what really just makes me happy because it's that click in their head, or like when you're talking to someone and they finally get it and you see that click,
yeah.
that's what I like.
Okay.
That pattern finding, that's what gets me going. I love it. I would do that forever even if I wasn't paid, if I had everything else taken care of.
I love
So
that.
you're a light worker.
Let's take a picture real quick because I know that Christina probably has to leave. Anybody can put yourselves on camera, please do. If not, that's okay. Christina already told us she can't.
Dina, I said, no way, Jose.
Christina is not presentable,
Well,
okay?
y'all know I take my shirt off when I get home, so.
Okay, I know. I'm not expecting you to be on camera, Michaela. That's what I told Christina. I said, "Do you have your shirt off too?"
Michaela, get a cute little avatar or something to put up there in place
Okay,
And I
next
keep
I
to you.
know.
saying
All
I'm a
right,
big one, but I always forget.
I know. That's okay. All right, on the count of three. One, two, three. Smile. Okay. Thank
I
you.
smiled with you guys, though.
What?
I smiled with you guys, though.
Sure you did. Sure you did. I saw the smile. Okay. Christina smiled too. All right. Was this helpful tonight? Getting to know Amber. We learned a lot
Yeah,
about culture.
Yes, definitely.
it was. I'm
Yeah,
looking
it
forward to your
was.
book, Amber.
Yeah, if
Yes.
anybody wants to be a reader, like I would love to have any of you read it just to help me like fill in the gaps. Like, hey, tell me more about this. I want to see it. And I've got like the first 2.5 chapters, I want to say, plus the beginning part and the after part. So like the preface and the afterward. So I've got those. It's about 17 pages or so. I'd
Yeah.
love to send it to you. I'll just put it in the group and anyone can read it if you want to.
Yeah.
It's got the
Why don't you
chapters
put it
list and
in
all
the
that.
why don't you put in the Facebook group?
Yeah, yeah. I'll stick it in there.
Put in the Facebook group and then yeah. And then what I could do, I could pin it, put in the feature so you
Yeah.
could, catch it. But yeah, I mean,
And Amber, when you do that, make sure you put a form up there too so that people know exactly what you're looking for.
Yeah, I've got to like really sit and contemplate that for sure because I definitely want to get as much as I can out of it. but I also want you guys to enjoy it. Bye, Christina.
Bye, Christina. All
But
right.
yeah, if you guys have questions as you go to, or if you're like, hey, we need more info on this or that, it's still in the beginning stages, but I do want you to really take note of what's in the chapter outline because some of those chapters that are already done are going to get reworked to kind of like lead more into the other ones because it's still kind of all culminating in my head. But I
Love
think it's
that.
really coming along. So
Oh, you
Okay.
want to wait until you work that out?
it's pretty much there for the most part. It might have a few like lines or something added, but it's not gonna be anything major. So
I'm just saying because a lot of us are authors.
yeah,
And we want,
yeah.
we might not get the message because we're looking at, wait a minute.
Yeah,
Right.
I think you'll get it with what I have for the most part. It might just have some more tie-ins later. So
Okay.
they wouldn't be
Awesome.
tie-ins you'd pick up yet because the other parts aren't written yet anyway. So
Okay.
Yeah. Well, it was good to get to learn a little more about you, Amber.
yeah, feel free to ask any questions you guys have too as you go.
Yeah, reach out to Amber. I'll get on a call with her one-on-one. Next Tuesday, we are going to have our first co-working session. So co-working is next Tuesday. Michaela, you've been in co-working sessions. You have found it to be good. You've found it productive, right, Michaela?
Yes, I do co-working 5 days a week, twice a day.
Yeah, twice a
Six
day.
in the morning. Yeah, six from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. Then I go to
Yes.
work.
Yep.
Then
Yep.
I do it from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Yeah, that's great. And you just bring what you want to work on, and we give you the opportunity here. And we're going to do this every other month. Okay, so we're going to alternate between masterminding and co-working. All right. So have a great one, all of you. And
And
I'm here.
Tina, let's chat later about because I'm working on my course too, building it out now.
Yes.
And it would be good to talk to someone that's actually building it now because everybody else they've already done it.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Let's get on a call, Michaela.
No, let's just do a Zoom, where we talking or
Oh, no,
something.
no,
I
that's what
don't.
I meant.
Yeah, yeah.
No, no,
We can
Zoom.
do it
Oh,
during co-working. We could talk when we do co-working. We could talk
okay.
about it then, like
Good.
in a breakout room.
Good. Because that's what we'll do. We'll create breakout rooms. Okay.
Yeah, and we could work on that.
And then we
The
can work on that.
courses.
Good. Awesome.
Perfect.
All right. Bye, everybody. Have a
See
great
you
one.
guys. Bye bye.
Bye
Oh,
bye.
where's the leave button?
Bye.
Bye.